On May 2nd of this year, Thunderbolts, the sixth and final film of Phase 5, was released to universal acclaim from both fans, critics, and even yours truly. Praised for its more street-level character narratives, empathetic complexity surrounding themes of trauma, and Oscar-worthy performances from everyone, especially star Florence Pugh, this film, at a first glance, would appear to be a roaring win for the MCU. But apparently it's not. Apparently it's a $100 million failure as a result of wokeness and terrible direction from Hollywood. Proving again, just like with the Marvels, that when you go woke, you go broke. But I'm here to tell you, yes you, the critical drinker, nerdrotic, or Mauler fanboys, and every other parrot on Twitter, Reddit, YouTube comments, or elsewhere, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. As demonstrated by my last two video essays, people really don't like it whenever you tell them they're wrong, which to me is a mentality that always felt really counterproductive. Being wrong about something only serves to stimulate personal growth. As Oprah Winfrey, one of the wealthiest African American women, told us, failure is just life trying to move us in another direction. Being able to acknowledge the errors, fallacies, and blatant falsehoods in your own argument is one of the best ways to improve analytical thinking. Thomas Edison famously failed more than 1,000 times to create a functioning light bulb, and figures like Galileo, Copernicus, and Kepler are famous for debunking the widely believed geocentric model at the time, launching the scientific revolution. Clearly, self-correction and accountability is key not only to the advancement of society, but the human race at large. So why is it that simply making a video disproving false narratives on the internet warrants people to, well, just look at them? Anyway, let's get back to the task at hand, where I properly define the term flop, explain how movies like Thunderbolts and Brave New World are in fact not flops, expose blatant goalpost shifting, and question how the fuck we even got here in the first place. No, that last part wasn't a joke. So, let's get on to the first part of this essay, where I properly explain what a flop is. In the context of film, a flop, also known as a box office bomb, is most commonly understood as a film that is unprofitable or considered highly unsuccessful during its theatrical run. More specifically, it's understood through the lens of failing commercially, mainly through box office sales in relation to the budget. To keep it simple, a flop is simply defined as a film that made less money than it cost to produce. So, the film's box office revenue was not able to recoup its original budget. A few of you will find that to be a pretty solid definition, but a good amount of you will consider my definition incomplete, mainly because I didn't include marketing in addition to the film's budget. Let's use Thunderbolts as an example. The movie has approximately a budget of $180 million and made $380 million worldwide at the box office. The film clearly more than doubled its budget, but according to this growing narrative on the internet, the film also has to make back its marketing, which, according to the internet, means the film needs to make around 2 to 2.5 times its budget. 180 million times 2.5 gives us 450 million, meaning by this rule of thumb, the film needs to make at least 450 million, or as Variety told everyone, 425 million in order to break even. And since this film made only 380 million, this must mean that Thunderbolts is a flop then, right? Wrong. There are a couple of problems with this. Number one, marketing costs are almost never made public by any of these studios, so we have absolutely no idea how much the marketing was for this film or any other MCU project that was released this year. That 425 million number came from a Variety article, and the author's source for that number was... oh, there wasn't one, they just made that number up. This idea is even further disproved by the director of Superman himself, James Gunn. A fan asked Gunn on Twitter if Superman really needed to make $650 million to break even, as this was a growing narrative online, even from the critical drinker who said that Superman needed to make $700 million in order to break even. And Gunn responded, shutting that notion down, and even stating that people throwing these numbers around have little to no understanding about the film business. Number two, the money used for marketing isn't even used in the production of the film, so why is that number even being included? Not only is it a number that you don't even know, it wasn't even used to make the movie in the first place. In response to that, you'll probably move towards another growing narrative online, the idea that studios keep only around half of their box office revenue. So, in this example, they only kept around $190 million for Thunderbolts, meaning that it failed to give the studio a substantial profit. This, like the marketing bullshit, is another disingenuous fudging of the numbers. What the studio itself made from the movie has nothing to do with whether or not the movie itself was a failure. I mean, I could easily play this game on the other side of the argument. Since we're talking about purely the inflow and outflow of money to the studio, what about all the money these films make from merchandise, cross promotions, and even just being on Disney Plus, which makes at least $1 billion a month? Let me put it this way. Brave New World, Fantastic Four, and Thunderbolts don't just make money at the box office, they feed Disney's ever-growing ecosystem. And in this day and age where buying a movie ticket is getting more and more expensive, it's getting harder and harder to justify going to watch a movie at the theaters instead of just waiting an extra month to watch it at home, where you can pause it, don't have to deal with rude customers, don't have to pay outrageous amounts for food, and can even watch it in different languages if you so desire. So, no, parrots. Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and the Fantastic Four are in fact not flops. You guys just have no idea how the film industry works and are just repeating things told to you by people who tell you whatever the fuck you want to hear. Disney could make $0 at the box office every year and still be the world's wealthiest movie studio. And I really have to question, why is this such a prominent talking point anyway? Why is a film flopping or not so important to you guys in the first place? Films are meant to be enjoyed and respected as a legitimate form of art. Shouldn't whether or not you enjoyed the movie be all that matters to you in the first place? I mean, great films fail at the box office all the time. Blade Runner 2049, The Iron Giant, Shawshank Redemption, It's a Wonderful Life. Hell, the most critically acclaimed films of this year, F1, Sinners, and Final Destination Bloodlines, didn't even come in top 5 of this year's highest selling movies. My favorite film of this year so far, Weapons, despite being an incredible box office success, is only in 14th place. Needless to say, just like so-called wokeness, DEI, and race swaps, box office numbers are a non-issue. You guys aren't the investors spending millions upon millions of dollars on these films, so why do you care so much about box office numbers in the first place? Oh, right. Because when a movie that you don't like performs poorly, it's considered a win on your side, because you guys don't actually care about film, you just care about the culture war, and for some reason, people still take it upon themselves to defend you guys. Oh, and William Davis, I'm still waiting for you to come back and admit that you're wrong. I mean, you wouldn't go back on our little agreement, right?